I'm Michelle Griego, live at Empower Field at Mile High, where we are getting ready for the Broncos home opener against the New York Jets.
And I'm Dominic Garcia, and a packed house can return to the stadium for the first time in over a year. What that can mean for local businesses. And parents, be aware, a popular baby lounger used by millions is being recalled, why this product is being pulled from shelves. And a police officer found dead after barricading himself in a home. What we're learning about that officer this morning.
From Colorado's News Channel, this is CBS 4 This Morning.
Happy Friday, everyone. Let's get right out to Michelle. And Michelle, Broncos 2-0. It would be great if they can build off this little win streak they got going, make it 3-0.
I know, we all have our fingers crossed. Hopefully they can do it. And as Justin says, they should be able to do it. It is great to be back here at Mile High. The team and, of course, the surrounding neighborhood and all the fans, they are ready to welcome everyone back. In 2019, the Denver Broncos and Chicago Bears played to a packed house with every seat filled as the fans cheered on not only the team, but they also honored Pat Bowlen. A year later, though, everything changed. Only a few lucky fans were in the stadium when the Broncos lost to the Tennessee Titans. You remember that? That was as the coronavirus prompted strict restrictions. Well, this year, it is back to that full capacity, and the man in charge of the stadium says they are ready.
We are all so excited to welcome Broncos country back. It wasn't the same last year without the fans. This is awesome. Everyone here, this is what we do, this is what we live for. We can't wait for fans to be back. I mean, when we have 75,000 of our fans all dressed in orange, all going berserk, and that rookie quarterback starts losing his mind, it's exciting.
I think all the fans are going to lose their mind. That's going to be so awesome. And, you know, Justin Adams joins me this morning, and we're talking about this home opener with the stadium packed. It's going to make such a difference for the team, don't you think?
100%. Not only for the businesses around the areas, but also for the players on the field as well. It's going to be a great sight to see. But you know what? Last year, there were only 5,700 fans that were allowed in a Power Field at Mile High, and that was because of the coronavirus pandemic and to the limited amount of fans that were allowed into the stands. And this was something that we saw all across the NFL. According to the Associated Press, NFL teams lost, get this, almost $4 billion of revenue due to the pandemic in 2020. Now, stadiums weren't the only place that felt the impact from the empty seats. So did businesses around Mile High. Mayor Michael Hancock saw this firsthand of how businesses from bars and restaurants to hotels were impacted without having those fans packing the stands.
Those are what we like to say bodies in our hotels. They are in our restaurants. They're in our downtown area, our Cherry Creek area, and other neighborhoods. The reality is it's an economic hit for us every Sunday the Broncos play here at home. So when we're not able to have fans, we lose all that opportunity. And, of course, jobs are at stake. And there are a lot of people who depend on those jobs at Empower Field.
Now, Michelle, one thing that wasn't impacted was the sellout streak for the Denver Broncos. The current streak is, get this, at 415 games, which is the longest streak in the NFL. And get this, it started all the way back in 1970.
Wow, no surprise. Broncos fans, they love their team, right?
100%, and that's the reason why it's so hard to get a ticket. But if you do, you have the golden ticket, so be sure to enjoy the game.
It is the golden ticket. We are so looking forward to this weekend. All right, Justin, thank you. Ashton, I know you've been giving me a hard time about being cold out here.
Yes.
I don't care. It is chilly. We're all chilly out here. But something to keep me warm. One of the fans actually brought a bag of breakfast burritos.
Oh, I see. All right. Well, they may only temporarily keep your hands warm. You may need something for the long haul, like some gloves. We'll have to work on that, Michelle. Bring some of those burritos back to the station if you don't mind. 52 degrees, the temperature here in downtown Denver this morning. It's cool, but it's not nearly as bad. Imagine if Michelle had been out there on Tuesday morning when it was 39 degrees. It's going to be a slow warm up this morning thanks to the cold front that rolled through last night. That's why it's cooler. We'll still top out in the mid to upper 70s. Around the noon hour is when we'll really start to accelerate the warming. And speaking of the warming, this weekend still expecting to be near a record for the Broncos game on Sunday afternoon. That's how warm it will be. Mackenzie, how's the drive looking for this Friday morning, first of all?
Well, Friday's off to a good start here around the metro area, Ashton. This is a look at our mousetrap cam. Still not as many cars on the road as we typically see during the weekday, so things are looking pretty good. Taking a look at that wide map, we are seeing green almost everywhere on every major interstate. A little bit of slowing on 285, but in the metro area, things are looking really good. Do want to give you a heads up about a weekend closure we have in place. This is southbound Colorado Boulevard. Those lanes will be closed between Montview Boulevard to East 16th Avenue. That starts tonight all the way through the weekend until Monday morning. That's due to a stormwater project the city's putting in place. And also want to get back to talking about our Broncos. Expect that heavy traffic around the stadium this weekend. We know that if you're going to the game, RTD got rid of that Bronco ride, but RTD will be ramping up their services, especially their light rail and bus system, to get fans safely to the stadium. So if you need to head out there, the E line from the south and the W line from the west both have direct stops at Empower Field. RTD will be upping the number of cars and the trips on these lines to help get their fans there. Now, if you are coming from another area of town, don't worry. You're asked to just take the light rail or go to Union Station. There you can connect to the E or W line to get directly to the field. Also, a handful of bus routes that can get you to the Empower Field. You can get within walking distance or, again, to Union Station to hop on that light rail dome.
All right. Thank you, Mackenzie. And here's a real surprise. Michelle Griego has found some friends really ready for the Broncos home opener. Please introduce us.
Okay, Dominic, I want to introduce you to Bronco Reaper. There you go. He gave the Mile High salute. Okay, Bronco Reaper, how excited are you to be back in this stadium? I know last season you went to a couple of games, but this season you're ready to go to all.
I'm too excited. It's speechless.
Yeah, it's going to be so great, right? Seeing everybody once again.
Absolutely. 5 o'clock in the morning, freezing. Yeah. Just to come out here and light some fire on all the excitement.
And all the excitement. And that's what you're doing. I love this thing. Why Bronco Reaper?
Well, Bronco Reaper started as I was actually had some health issues, and I actually have found that most people die here mentally. And so I came up with the Reaper to kind of relieve that scare of death and support my Broncos at the same time.
And when you were going through all of those health issues, the games actually really helped you out.
Yes, ma'am. They give me a lot of life. They give me something to look forward to, something that I can, come to a game and at least that hour or two, whatever, forget about all my health issues.
Yeah. So tell me what it's going to be like in that stadium on Sunday and seeing all of the packed house, hopefully everybody in orange.
It's going to feel like home. It's going to feel like home once again. To have everybody in there in that stadium, the fans, the employees,
Yeah, so you are considered a super fan, and the Broncos, the team, it takes super fans very seriously. They even did a video with all of you guys.
Yes, ma'am. We just did a video welcoming back all the fans to the stadium. They're going to be playing that the few of the first games.
All right, that's so cool. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming here
My
very
pleasure.
early. I love that Mile High salute, and I'm going to give you one, Dom, as I see you're representing with a little Bronco color tie.
I feel a little insignificant compared to Mr. Reaper right there. Just don't touch him, all right, Michelle?
I know.
Right.
I know. He's actually very nice.
Very cool. We'll give him our best. We're excited for all those fans. Thanks, Michelle. Well, new this morning, an Estes Park police officer is dead after he was allegedly involved in a domestic violence situation. That officer barricaded himself in his home yesterday afternoon. Police arrived to investigate the incident that is alleged to have happened on September 17th. 2 family members were removed from the home safely, but attempts to contact that officer were unsuccessful. A search warrant was issued, and police went into the officer's home to find him dead. At this time, we still don't know the name of that officer or the cause of death. Well, this morning, police still looking for a driver of a semi-truck that hit an overpass, causing damage to a bridge and major traffic headaches. We first told you about this yesterday morning, right after it happened. Bridge was at I-70 at Denver West Parkway near the Cardinal Mills Shopping Mall. Police say they believe the truck was carrying heavy equipment, possibly an excavator, when it smashed into that overpass. Impact took out a huge chunk of the bridge you can see right there, left concrete all over the road. Driver has fled the scene. Police are now using CDOT cameras to try and identify the vehicle involved. If found, that driver faces possible charges, including leaving the scene of an accident and hit and run. Today, a driver who killed 4 people in an accident on that same bridge is going to stand trial. It was nearly 2.5 years ago when Rohel Aguilera Madero slammed his speeding truck into backed up traffic. This caused this fiery scene. It damaged or destroyed 28 vehicles. He's facing 41 charges, including 4 counts of vehicular homicide. Turning now to the latest COVID news. Today, millions of Americans have the green light to get a COVID booster shot. Under the new guidelines, the third shot is available to Pfizer recipients who have been fully vaccinated for at least 6 months, are 65 or over, or are 18 through 64 and at high risk of getting severe COVID. That group includes people who are overweight or obese, have diabetes, or are pregnant. Right now it is 6:10. We got about 51 degrees outside, and coming up, a woman from Aurora missing for over a month. Why officials are especially concerned and who they think she could be with.
The Broncos had a great start on the road, but what will it take to win at home? Justin is going to share his thoughts with us a little bit later, but Ashton, they really need to be ready to handle the heat.
That's right. It is going to be very warm for Denver at the end of September, near 90 on Sunday. Right now we're in the 50s. The sun will be up in about 40 minutes from now. It's going to be a slow start with the warming, but then we'll accelerate into the 70s. And it's not just the Broncos. The Rockies still playing this weekend. They play the Giants tonight. First pitch, 72 degrees at 6:10. We'll be right back.
Happening now, the search is on for a missing disabled woman from Aurora who officials say hasn't been seen in over a month. 38-year-old Felicia Martinez went missing on August 15th. She's described as 5'3", about 150 pounds, with pinkish purple hair and brown eyes. Felicia suffers from cerebral palsy and walks with leg braces and a cane. Police say Felicia may be with a heavyset white male with red hair that goes by Lucky Puppy. Anyone with information is asked to please call police. All right, let's get back over to Ashton. We got Michelle, we got Justin out there getting all ready for the Broncos game. Even fans are out there. What kind of weather can they expect?
It's going to be so warm on Sunday. It really is. We're going to be close to record territory. Kickoff 2:05 on Sunday afternoon, 85 degrees by halftime, 87. By the end of the fourth quarter, 86. Again, the record is 90 from September 26, 2010, so it'll be very close to that record for the Broncos and Jets come Sunday afternoon. This is also going to be the weekend to check out the fall foliage for the northern mountains. Laura Wathen captured this photo near Guanella Pass, south of Georgetown, right there near Mount Bierstadt the other day. And you can see some color there. It's not bad in the Central Mountains, but it's better in the Northern Mountains. This is North Winter Park in Tabernash the other day. John Irwin capturing that scene. Just look at that brilliant color. So while you'll find color in most mountain areas, it's going to be best this weekend for the high country north of Interstate 70, including the peak-to-peak highway. So Highway 119 from Black Hawk Central City up to 72 to 7 up to Estes Park. It's going to be a busy stretch, but it's going to be for good reason. The fall color percent change between 80 to 100% in that area. Central Mountains were more like 50 to 75% on the color change. And then for the Southern Mountains, including the Highway 50, 160 and $550 million highway corridors, there's some color, but it's not as brilliant or as widespread as it is farther north. Temperatures this morning in the 40s and 50s around Denver, Boulder, and Fort Collins. So it is a cool start, but then a nice mild finish. Not as warm as yesterday, but most of us will call it comfortable this afternoon. It's going to be a fantastic Friday afternoon with highs in the 70s. We'll see a few 80s in southern Colorado, on the western slope as well with 84 in Grand Junction. Here's the map for tomorrow. We warm up mid-80s. We've been talking about how warm it'll be on Sunday, and it will be, but tomorrow isn't exactly going to be a cool day. It's going to be very warm tomorrow, almost as warm as we will be on Sunday, where we've got 87 in the forecast for Denver, a few 90s showing up on the eastern plains on Sunday afternoon. So the cold front that swept through yesterday evening, creating a little bit of wind and some cloud cover and a few mountain raindrops, that front just to the southeast, it can't go any farther south because of high pressure in the Texas Panhandle, so it's going to flatten out and slide east over the next day or two. Ridge of trough of low pressure will be in Phoenix by the end of the weekend. This is cut off from the main flow of the atmosphere. These cutoff lows can kind of do whatever they want. It looks like it's just going to meander around Arizona for the weekend. That could send a few showers up into the Four Corners region. So our friends down around Cortez, Durango, Pagosa, that 160 corridor down there, you could see a shower this weekend, but I don't think any moisture is going to be able to make its way any farther north than Highway 50. So we'll keep it sunny, warm, and dry this weekend for the Denver metro area. 85 tomorrow, 87 on Sunday. Stay in the 80s early next week, and then we cool into the 60s and 70s with a chance for a few showers at the end of next week. That feels and looks a little more like fall. All right, Mackenzie, how's the drive looking?
All right, good morning. Well, we have a traffic alert to let you know about. A little dark here right now, but Copter 4 is over a report of a bear versus a vehicle accident. So this is by Kipling and Bellevue. You can see they're looking around there to see if they can find where that bear is. But again, that vehicle apparently hit a bear, flashing lights everywhere. They're allowing just one lane of traffic to kind of squeeze by there in that area. So if you are in that area, do keep that in mind. No word yet on injuries for that driver, but of course, as we learn more, we'll bring that to you. Taking a look at the Metro map, that accident down there is the only thing we're seeing all across the interstates. Things are looking pretty good. Seen a little bit of slowing on 270, but nothing to worry about too much. Want to get back to talking about the Broncos game on Sunday. Do anticipate that heavy traffic around Federal Boulevard, Colfax, I-25, just going to be slammed in that area. So if you can, avoid it. Also want to talk about how to get to the game. So RTD did suspend Broncos ride, but they are upping their light rail system to help with all of the fans who will be trying to get out to Empower Field. So the E and the W line have direct stops at Empower Field, so those are the ones that they're suggesting people take. They'll also have a handful of bus routes to get you near the field, but if possible, if you're coming in from other areas, you're asked to get to Union Station and then hop on that E or W line to get safely to the field. And Dom, they're also suggesting you can use your phone, the app, to book tickets and also to get a daily pass. So once the game's over, you don't have to wait around in those crowds to buy another ticket to get home. You'll just be ready to go.
Or you could just go to the stadium now, which is...
We've seen some people camping out already,
Which is apparently the case. Let's go back out to Michelle. I mean, the game isn't even till Sunday, but there's already people out there.
I know. Yeah, we already saw a lineup on the street of some of the tailgate cars there. But yes, I have the biggest fans here for the Broncos games. These guys are called the Horsemen. Of course, you see the Reaper there, but the Horsemen started, back in 96?
Yeah, well, my dad started tailgating in 1960, and then we've been tailgating ever since I was 3 years old, and since 1990s, late 90s, we started the Horsemen. So. But
everybody knows the Horsemen tailgate party. I mean, you guys roll deep. At least 100 people come to this party.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we're excited to finally get back. Everyone's going to be here. It's finally see family and all our friends here. So yeah, it's going to have a big crowd here for sure.
And there's always food, a DJ.
Oh, we have it all. We have it all. Tons of food, tons of adult beverages. DJ gets it going. It's always a good time.
What is it like to see a filled stadium? Because last year wasn't the case.
I haven't been to a lot of Bronco games in the past, but coming to filled stadiums, it's a whole different excitement because I never got a lot of those things before. So when you see everybody involved in a whole big group of supporting the Broncos, it gives you a big excitement within yourself that you're supporting that, and we're bringing that excitement too along to the game.
Now the Horsemen, you guys are super fans, of course. You guys have your t-shirts going and you also have your tattoos. I do have to tell you, this is Octavio Griego. He is one of the founders of the Horsemen, and he's also my brother-in-law. That's why we have the same last name. See, aren't we cute? Anyway, I do want to say though, you guys do a lot of charity work and a lot for the community as well.
Yeah, we do a lot of homeless food drives. Rich would be the one to extrapolate on that. He's our main coordinator for everything.
Okay. All right. Well, Rich, let's talk about that because I think it's important to know. You guys like to party, like to tailgate, like to celebrate the Broncos, but you also like to give back.
Oh, yeah. One of our main missions, what we do is we give back to the community. All we do is say, hey, we're going to go feed the homeless, or, we're going to go do something out for the community. We get everybody involved, and they jump right to us. So.
All right. So before we go, can we see the tattoos? Yeah. All the Horsemen have matching tattoos here. And this is a design of Octavio's here.
Copyrighted.
Pretty awesome, right, Dom? I don't know. I think that would look good on your arm.
Michelle, can you go anywhere in the city without bumping into one of your relatives?
I know. I'm related to everybody. I'm sorry.
All right. Very cool. We love these diehard fans. Michelle, thanks so much. We'll get back to you in just a bit. 6:21 right now. And be on the lookout. A popular baby lounger being recalled while the government is telling parents to stop using this immediately.
Time now for the Ford Sports Break.
In his 9 starts with the Dodgers prior to yesterday, Max Scherzer had allowed a total of 5 earned runs. Scherzer was on the mound yesterday afternoon at Coors Field. Larry Walker in attendance. Of course, big jersey retirement ceremony coming up this weekend at Coors Field. Bottom 2, Kyle Freeland says, Max Scherzer, how about take these earned runs? A 2 RBI single for Freeland, and all of a sudden this game would be tied at 3. Rockies Pitcher's been raking lately. Bottom 5, Raimel Tapia with a 2-run shot to right field. Rockies up 5-3. Scherzer allowed 5 runs just yesterday. Pretty impressive by the bats. Top 9, the bullpen gets in the way. Rockies up 1 with 2 outs. Trey Turner with the RBI single to tie things at 5. And then in the 10th, Max Muncy on the first pitch of the inning, deep to center field. That would make it 7-5 Dodgers at that point, as LA goes on to get a win by that same score. Disappointing day for the Rockies. Not only do they lose the game, but they are officially eliminated from the playoffs thanks to a victory from Nolan Arenado and the Cardinals.
That was the Ford Sports Break, powered by the F-150 with best-in-class capabilities. No wonder Ford F-Series are the best-selling trucks for 44 years. Build better, build stronger, build Ford tough, and only at your local Ford stores.
I have a major recall this morning to tell you about. The government is telling parents to immediately stop using a popular baby lounger after it was linked to several infants dying. The Boppy company sold more than 3 million of these lounger pillows, and now the products are under a recall after at least 8 infants have died. One incident claims a 2-month-old infant placed in a Boppy lounger was found after a couple of hours to have rolled over and was face down in the pillow and had suffocated. In a statement, Boppy says, "We are devastated to hear of these tragedies and that the lounger was not marketed as an infant sleep product and includes warnings against unsupervised use." Last year, the Consumer Product Safety Commission warned parents that infants should not sleep on any pillow-type products.
The best and safest way for babies to sleep, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, is alone on their back in a firm, flat surface that's free of any soft petting or restraints.
That recall involves the Boppy Original Newborn Lounger, the Boppy Preferred Newborn Lounger, and also the Pottery Barn Kids Newborn Boppy Lounger. Parents who bought one of those loungers can go to Boppy's website to process a refund. All right, let's switch gears, get back out to Michelle. And Michelle, when you came back home to Denver, I mean, this is really a homecoming, and that includes right there at Mile High.
Yeah, it really does, Dom, because I have been a lifelong fan. In fact, a lot of my family parties growing up were all centered around Broncos games, so this is cool. But we were in the Bay Area for about 9 years, and even so, we were in Raiders country and 49ers country. We still represented the Broncos. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of us at Broncos Raiders games and also Niners games, decked out in all of our Broncos gear. See, we met the Reaper there. I don't know. I like the Bronco Reaper better than the Raiders Reaper. And there's me and some of the girls at the 49ers game. So always representing, always a huge Bronco fan. And I know that a bunch of Bronco fans are so excited for this home opener on Sunday. So let's get right over to Ashton. You have a dog walk forecast. And we have some fans, too, who are dogs, which is pretty awesome.
That's right. We got a photo of that. And that's bold, by the way. I'm impressed you wore your Broncos gear to especially a Raiders game. One thing with the Niners, but the Raiders, wow. I'm glad you made it out of there alive, Michelle. Bella is helping us out. I want to thank Susan Tay for sharing Bella with us, a half poodle, half St. Bernard. You can see her sitting here in her chair. That is her chair. No one else sits in that chair but her. It's a pretty nice chair. We got yellow pall early on because it's a little cool behind the cold front that passed last night. And temperatures eventually will climb into the 70s this afternoon. It's going to turn out to be a fantastic Friday. Remember, you can go to our website, cbsdenver.com/dogwalk, to share your pup pics with us for the dog walk forecast. And as Michelle was referring to, we love all of our viewers on CBS 4 this morning, especially our four-legged friends who cannot get enough of the dog walk forecast. This is Eliza. I want to thank Leanna Clark from right here in Denver for sharing this photo. This was a little earlier this week, and apparently Eliza just goes crazy every time.
Oh, we love Eliza. So thanks so much for watching, Eliza. All right, coming up, the Broncos have had one of the best starts to the season in years, and Justin tells us what it'll take to keep up their winning ways. I'm Michelle Griego. We are counting down to the Broncos' first home game of the season at full capacity. The changes for the fans.
I'm Justin Adams, and I'm going to tell you exactly what the Denver Broncos need to do to go from 2-0 to 3-0 when they take on the New York Jets on Sunday.
I'll let fans know how to get to the stadium safely, as well as how your Friday morning commute's going.
And good morning from Colorado's Weather Center. Look at that Bronco orange out to the east with our sunrise. The sun will officially be up in about 20 minutes from now. It is going to be a little bit cooler today and then a big warm up for the weekend. Your forecast just ahead.
Plus, how vaccine mandates are putting a strain on rural hospitals and how it could impact you if you get sick.
From Colorado's News Channel, this is CBS 4 This Morning.
Taking a look at some of your top stories this morning. Today, a driver who killed 4 people in an accident on I-70 at the Denver West overpass will stand trial. That deadly crash happened nearly 2.5 years ago when Rogelio Aguilera Madero slammed his speeding truck into backed up traffic. Damaged or destroyed 28 vehicles, and he is facing 41 charges, including 4 counts of vehicular homicide. An Aurora police officer is now on administrative leave after body camera video of an arrest that happened in May became public. This officer was involved in the arrest of Preston Nunn. Video shows him pulling a gun on Nunn and later aggressively taking him to the ground. This comes just days after a recent review found troubling patterns of racism and use of force in the department. Nunn was on probation at the time of the arrest. He says he does plan to sue the department. CDC advisory panel has recommended that Pfizer booster shots be offered to seniors 65 and up and other groups at risk. This panel said the boosters could be given at least 6 months after someone is fully vaccinated. All right, let's get back out to Michelle Griego. She's live at Mile High. Surprisingly, there are fans out there already, but there's also some changes coming this year, Michelle.
Yeah, and one change this year is Lot A, Dom. It's a no tailgating lot. It's a carpool lot. No tailgating in Lot A this year. So let's talk about the technology because that has changed as well. There are new ways to self-order food. One way allows you to order food at a kiosk and then self-pay. And then there's a second autonomous drink market. Cameras actually follow you around, and as you take drinks off the shelf, it adds what you want to purchase on an app. And listen to how it all works.
When I scan in, I am on camera. There's cameras above us, and it assigns me an anonymous ID. And when I walk through the store, it will follow me through the store. And between that and the shelf sensor technology, there's a sensor on each shelf. And so we have each of the individual items programmed on there to the gram. And so it knows which shelf, in which door, and what the weight is. So based on what I pull out and the camera, the connection is made by the artificial intelligence technology that puts that item into my virtual shopping cart.
And there you go, high tech, right? You're charged as you leave the market. All you need is an app, and you don't even need to pay with the credit card. So that's how it is, Ashton. A lot of things going high tech. And it's supposed to be faster and a lot easier.
That is slick, Michelle. I am very excited to try that out at some point this season. So slightly cooler weather expected here today behind the cold front that passed by last night. It's not nearly as chilly this morning as it was earlier this week. Remember, 39 back on Tuesday morning. That said, it's definitely a little cooler this morning than it was yesterday morning. Eric and Eckley out on the plains has 48 degrees. John Bache, Cold Creek Canyon, foothills above Boulder, he's at 40. Richard Harvey in Denver's Lowry neighborhood has 44. Larry Little in Berthoud, that's the town of Berthoud up north, has 47. School day forecast, we'll give it a B this morning because of the cool start, but then we'll take that letter grade up to an A this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies and highs in the mid to upper 70s. McKenzie, some will call it cool today. I'm going to call it comfortable. I mean, this just looks like a great day. Hopefully, we've got some great traffic to talk about early this morning as well.
Yeah, it does look like a great day, Ashton. It's been a pretty good Friday morning commute so far. We did have that bear versus vehicle accident down off Kipling and Bellevue. That was just cleared. The tow truck just took that car away, so that has been cleared. Taking a look at those drive times, this is I-25 southbound from Thornton to Denver. Average speed 52 miles per hour, but you can see at some points it does dip down to 33 miles per hour there. And drive times on I-225, the average speed 47 miles per hour, so things are starting to slow down just a little bit, but we're not seeing any major issues. Taking a look at this weekend closure, southbound lanes of Colorado Boulevard between Montview Boulevard to East 16th Ave will be closed tonight starting at 9 p.m. Those will be closed all the way through the weekend until 5 a.m. Monday morning. This is for a stormwater project, so do keep that in mind if you do live in that area or plan to be traveling in that area and prepare for that closure.
All right, thanks for the heads up. Mackenzie, a lot of people are going to be headed to Mile High this weekend. Michelle is already there. She's with our Justin Adams. All right, let's talk game strategy.
Okay, let's talk game strategy, right? Because my only strategy is Broncos will win. But they are looking to open the season at 3-0 for the first time since 2016. So what are their chances against the Jets, Justin?
Well, they have a great chance. They're 10.5-point favorites to win this game. But the biggest thing they need to do is play with the same poise and confidence that helped them win the first 2 games of the year. If they could bring that home to Mile High, they'll be able to win this game and have no problem against the visiting Jets. Now, the Broncos are doing a great job, and they're winning games by following a simple formula on offense. What they're doing is pretty much simple. They're playing keep away, okay? They lead the league in time of possession overall. And look, this means that the offense is sustaining long drives and they're not turning the ball over. Now on defense, they need to continue to be stingy. They are allowing only 13 points per game, which is the 5th best in the NFL. The only area that this team does need to improve on is in the sacks department. Von Miller leads the team with 3 sacks and has all of the Broncos sacks, and he and his teammates want to get some more of those sacks on Sunday to hear the crowd roar.
We're coming in, 2-0. Broncos country has seen the type of football that we played over the last 2 weeks. And now we're coming home. I expect it to be rowdy. I expect it to be crazy. I expect it to be, a great atmosphere to go play football.
Now, Michelle, once again, the Broncos are 10.5-point favorites, but I gotta warn you, back in 2017, there was another New York team, the New York Giants, that were also double-digit underdogs, and they were able to come here and beat the Broncos. So the Broncos have to play their best if they want to improve to 3-0.
Do you hear that, Broncos? You have to play your best, 3-0.
That's right.
I think it can happen, though. And of course, you'll want to be with CBS 4 all day Sunday as we get set for the game. And kickoff, don't forget, is set for 2:05 right here on CBS 4. Should be exciting. And Ashton, it's certainly going to be a great day to be at the field as well.
That's right. It will be warm on Sunday. It's fall, right? We officially transitioned the seasons back on Wednesday, but it will feel every bit like summertime coming up on Sunday afternoon with temperatures close to a record. Right now, it's 51 here in the CBS 4 Outdoor Weather Lab where I'm standing. We had the cold front that went by yesterday evening. As expected, we had some clouds. We had some gusty wind. But no rain for Metro Denver. A few raindrops up in the mountains late yesterday. All that has come to an end. By 9 a.m., 59. So it's not going to be much of a change in terms of our temperature in the coming hours, but then we'll accelerate the warming this afternoon. Should turn out to be a great day. High temperature 77 with mostly sunny skies and light winds. In my opinion, it's hard to top that. Tomorrow it's going to be warm. 85 degrees for Saturday, even warmer on Sunday with a high of 87. The record is from September 26th, 2010. That record is 90. The record is likely safe, but we're going to be close to it. We do have mostly clear skies across much of the state right now, but then down to the south of us, you can see shower activity across Arizona, parts of New Mexico. Most of that rain is going to stay south. We're going to talk more about all of this coming up here in your full forecast in just a few minutes. Right now, we're going to take a quick break. CBS 4 this morning. We'll return right after this.
Welcome back, everyone. It is 6:43 right now. We got 51 degrees and a beautiful sunrise as we head into the weekend. And of course, the big story going into the weekend is the Broncos home opener. So let's see what Michelle's up to at Empower Field right now. We've talked about fans, the game. Let's talk about the real stuff. Let's talk about the food.
Oh boy, no, are you hungry right now? I am. So let's just talk about food. You're gonna find old staples here at Empower Field, but you're also gonna find some fan favorites and some new things. Cherry Cricket is gonna be here, tacos, tequila, and whiskey, and there's fresh made Boulder sauce. Forget the pizza. Aramark has renovated 28 food areas.
But we've also expanded on our food and beverage partnerships. Partnerships like GQ Barbecue, Coo Hills Restaurants, Main Shack.
You know what's so cool is that fans actually came out here and brought us some breakfast burritos, so we're gonna get some of those, but we have to wait for a little bit. Let's talk about this home field advantage because we always think that is what's gonna, get the win.
Yeah.
Not always the case.
Not always the case, but generally it's the special sauce that helps the Broncos get the job done. The Broncos have always had a good home field advantage, but just how good have the Broncos been in home openers throughout their history? Well, the Broncos are 45-15-1 in all time in home openers, and the only time that they actually had a tie was back in 1970 where the Broncos played to a 10-10 tie against the Miami Dolphins. Now the Broncos are even better at Empower Field at Mile High. Denver is 17-3 at the current stadium that was built back in 2001. Now, unfortunately, Vic Fangio hasn't won a home opener just yet. He's 0-2, losing close games to the Chicago Bears and the Tennessee Titans, which is why he's really focused on winning this home opener on Sunday.
Got to go win at home. You know, it's as simple as that. You know, this fan base is very, very enthusiastic. They love the Broncos, and we got to give them what they're hungry for.
Now, Michelle, I know that you're a huge fan, so if you still want to go to the game, I checked on Ticketmaster a couple of minutes ago, and tickets are being sold at $80 a piece. So
did you order me one?
Did I order you one? Well, did you give me a breakfast burrito? That's the question.
Not yet, but it's yours.
Okay,
it's yours.
Breakfast burrito. I'll get you a ticket. Let's do that one.
That sounds awesome. I love it. All right, let's check in with Ashton. You know, Ashton, you've been giving me a hard time about being cold. Justin's cold too.
Oh, well, see, the thing is, though, you guys have been out there for several hours now, a few hours, right? You were complaining right from the get-go, Michelle. It's taken Justin 2.5 hours, so we're going to give him a pass. We're going to give him a pass on that. You know, earlier this week, we had that cold front on Tuesday that dropped us to 39. It's not that cold this morning, but temperatures are in the lower 50s, so it is a bit cool. Here's the detailed forecast for Sunday. Kickoff 85, halftime 87, by the end of the fourth quarter 86. As we've been saying, the record for Sunday, the 26th of September, is 90 from 2010. That record's likely safe, but we will be close. Hey, it's not the only football happening this weekend. Air Force at home down at the Academy. Kickoff there tomorrow night, 6 p.m., 73, 64 by the end of the fourth quarter. And we've also got the Rockies in town this weekend. It's going to be one of those rare days on Sunday where we've got the Broncos at Mile High and the Rockies over at Coors Field. And those games are only an hour apart or so on Sunday. They do start with the Giants, the series tonight. First pitch, 72 degrees tonight at Coors Field. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s around Denver, Boulder, and Fort Collins right now. Some 30s showing up in the foothills. Later today, 60s and 70s in the foothills. Blackhawk, 68 this afternoon. Netherlands, 66 and 68 in Estes Park. That peak-to-peak highway stretch from Central City to Estes is going to be very busy this weekend, and for good reason. It's going to be the weekend to check out the fall color for high country locations north of Interstate 70. In southeast Colorado, we'll be in the lower 80s today and then close to 90 down that way tomorrow. We'll be in the mid-80s in Denver for Saturday, and then Sunday will be the warmest day. Lower to middle 90s out east. Mid to upper 80s in Metro Denver. Most of the weekend will be spent in the 60s and 70s for most mountain towns. We'll see a couple spots maybe get to 80 coming up on Sunday, including Avon. So the cold front that swept through last night, it's now to the east of us. It's going to flatten out and slide into the Midwest this weekend. We will watch a little area of low pressure that's near Tijuana right now. It'll make its way toward Tucson and Phoenix by the end of the weekend. This thing's going to create some shower activity over Arizona and New Mexico. Some of those showers could move up into the Four Corners region, the Highway 160 corridor, Pagosa, Durango to Cortez. Maybe a few showers for you as we go through the weekend on Sunday especially, but it's going to be tough to get any of that moisture north of Highway 50, so we're going to keep it dry for the rest of the state, including all of us around Denver, Boulder, and Fort Collins with our warm first weekend of fall. Stays warm early next week, and then something more fall-like for the middle and end of next week, maybe down into the 60s for highs on Thursday with a chance for a few showers. All right, Mackenzie, it's Friday morning. We're looking at a likely Broncos win. We're in a good mood. Please don't ruin that for us.
We are excited. No. We got some good news. Traffic's not too bad this morning for your Friday morning commute. This is a look at some of the slowing we are seeing on I-270. Pretty typical this time of morning, but nothing to worry about too much. We did have a crash on a Kipling near Bellevue. This is due to a vehicle versus bear crash that has been cleared, but it looks like that icon is still down there. So there may be some still activity happening down there, so do be aware of that. Taking a look at those drive times in from the north or to Denver, southbound I-25, average speed there is 51 miles per hour. Again, seeing a lot slower speeds on 270, 27 miles per hour there, and I-76, 28. Taking a look at those drive times in from the west, you're in for a good drive if you're heading into the downtown Denver area from the west side of town. We've been talking about the Broncos all morning. Want to talk about how to get to the field safely on Sunday. We know that Broncos ride has been suspended by RTD this year. That's due to some lack of ridership and COVID service cuts. But RTD is ramping up their light rail and bus system to help get fans to that stadium safely. So the E line from the south and the W line from the west, those are ones that have direct stops at Empower Field. RTD is going to be upping the number of cars and trips on these lines to help get fans there. And if you are coming in from a different area of town, don't worry. You're asked just to get to Union Station. There you can hop on the E or the W line to get to the field. Also going to be more bus routes around town. Some that'll get you close to Empower Field where then you can walk. And Don, they also encourage people to use the mobile app to get ticketing and also to get the daily early pass so you don't have to wait around in those lines after the game to get back on.
Yeah, plenty of options. All right,
Absolutely.
Thanks, Mackenzie. We got your local top stories coming up next, but first, here's a look at what's ahead on CBS Mornings, starting at 7.
Ahead on CBS Mornings, we'll discuss the CDC's new recommendation on booster shots for millions of Americans. Plus, Reese Witherspoon talks about her new season of her hit series, The Morning Show. We'll see you at 7.
Deadline for healthcare workers to get vaccinated is fast approaching, and that could make staffing shortages worse. The president is requiring healthcare facilities that receive federal funds to get staff vaccinated. That's in addition to the state mandate announced earlier this month in Colorado. Healthcare workers need to get their first dose by September 30th or face losing their job. This mandate hitting rural areas especially hard. A number of healthcare facilities in southern Colorado and on the western slope worry once that deadline arrives that their facility is going to be left without enough staff to provide full services. And some say they may even have to close their doors. At Memorial Regional Hospital in Moffat County, 80% of the staff is already vaccinated, but the facility is concerned about replacing those who aren't. All right, right now we want to go back out to Michelle. She's live at Mile High. We got the Broncos home opener. Michelle, there's fans out there already.
Yes, we have fans already. Look at this. Isn't this awesome? They are geared up, ready to go for Sunday's big game. We are out here at Empower Field at Mile High. And coming up, we're going to talk to these super fans and super tailgaters.
Welcome back, everyone. We got 6:56 right now and just a beautiful shot of Mile High. In a few days, that stadium going to be packed with tens of thousands of people, but some people are already still out at the stadium right now. Let's get out to Michelle with yet some more friends.
Yeah, Dom, I made a couple phone calls this morning, and it was so cool because they came out here so early. We have Bronco Reaper right here who is coming to the games representing, and also Rich Lopez and Octavio Griego. We have the same last name because, you know, this is my brother-in-law. They started the Horsemen here. You can see on their T-shirts this design. The Horsemen started back in the 90s?
Yeah, late 90s.
But the tailgating really started with your dad.
Yeah, since 1960, he was an original South Stander. I've been coming to the games since I was 3 years old. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. We were always taught to tailgate, doing it in the lot, so that's what we did, but we kind of stepped it up another notch. So.
Yeah, you stepped it up another notch. These tailgate parties, they're huge.
Yeah, they're great. We get a lot of support. We get a lot of the community coming by. We offer cool things for people to come and do. And
music, food.
Music, food, games, activities.
Sculptures.
We welcome kids. It's a great time.
Yeah, it's a great time, and you also give back to the community.
Oh yeah, that's one of the big things we do is make sure we get back to the community, help where it's needed. You know, it's just making a phone call, and it's what's great about our community. They all come out to help. So.
You know, we always talk about home field advantage, and the fans, they make a huge difference at these games.
Oh, it's great to be back in the stands, though. Last year was kind of a bummer, but it's good to be back. And South Stands, we get it going.
I'm sure South Stands is crazy. What is it going to be like to see a sea of orange?
It'll be a great feeling due to the fact that we didn't have a tailgating or any home games that we could enjoy last year. It's going to be great to see everybody back in there repping the Broncos and creating some loud noise so that way the opposing teams can't hear and make their plays.
Okay, one thing the Horsemen do, they share a tattoo on their arms. Can you guys see it? Can you guys, yeah, it's awesome design. Octavio is a tattoo artist and designed this for all of the Horsemen, and not everybody gets this design. You have to specifically be a Horseman for a while to get it tattooed on your arm, but it's pretty awesome. Thanks so much, guys, for being fans and for coming so early to talk about the Broncos. That's right. All right, Justin, the fans are ready, but what do the Broncos need to do to win on Sunday?
Well, the main thing is to do the same thing they did in the first couple of games, which is play strong defense, also to control the time of possession and to get the run game. But I also like what happened in the first game of the season, going up against the New York Jets. You go into 4th and 1. This is the third quarter where the Broncos have to go for it, and Teddy Bridgewater gets away from the rush and throws the ball to Albert Ogawebanam. That was one of his 2 touchdowns on the day, and the Broncos were able to win that game 27-13. Then the defense stepped up against Jacksonville last week. Patrick Surtain, in his first start of his career, was able to get an interception against Trevor Lawrence. That was a big play for the Broncos. Broncos had 2 turnovers in the game. If they can continue to do things just like that, they'll be able to beat the New York Jets on Sunday.
You know, it's such a good reminder because we talk a lot about Steady Teddy, which we should, but there are so many other weapons on this team.
100%, and it all goes back to the running game as well, to the wide receivers stepping up. You know, you have one starter that's out, and then you have another one step in. But how about this from last week? Cortland Sutton with 9 receptions, over 150 yards receiving, did a great job in the game. We have to see more of that on Sunday.
All right, there we go. Broncos are favored too. They're the favorites.
By 10.5, but look, I don't care about favorites. It's all about getting the wins.
That is right. Okay, all right, guys. So you ready for Sunday?
Right. Thanks, Michelle. We do want to leave you with Winnie. This is a 1.5-year-old Labrador mix. Could really use a great home. Check out Max Fun if you're interested in winning.